Human of unknown origin detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived. We see no one, ever. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him. Crucible is a tinderbox, and any spark will set it off. We're still recovering from a deadly conflict that happened 3 years ago. Far fewer of us are here to greet you today because of it. Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
This place... there's something about it that simply doesn't make sense. We should proceed with caution.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community. But you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends. Where to begin? Maybe an introduction? I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatist Society. Well, it is gratifying that even after all these years, my name isn't entirely forgotten. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense I was. Everyone that lives here are clones. Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider.
This is astonishing. It's like walking through some type of living museum of Earth's history.
Now, there is the question, isn't it? I do not have FDR's memories, but I know every nuance of his life and times. Well, as much as history records. I confess, I feel an undeniable affinity towards him. But no, I am my own man, but not all of us see it that way. Then you must live a remarkably interesting life. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatists' position on matters. Be careful what you wish for. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with the Monerinas and Genghis Khan.
Roosevelt is the only one that really cares about us as people.
Welcome to town, stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course. He was, and I try to be. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that. I can work with that. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you. Hope you find what you're looking for. It runs hot and cold. During usual times, it's an occasional scuffle. Maybe a black eye when an argument gets out of hand. And then a society goes on a rampage and it's tombstone all over. I hope your arrival keeps things on an even keel. I'm hoping you come back for some repeat business.
In my darkest hours, I feared that we were all that was left of humanity. Your ship, she's a beauty. It travels the stars, right? Tell me, what's it like out there? From what I gather, keeping a grav drive full isn't cheap or easy. I'm Amelia Earhart. When I first woke up in this place, in my head, I knew all about my namesake, her life and her accomplishments. But I also knew how to fly a starship, reactor limits, thrust acceleration, vectors, and everything. In my mind's eye, I can imagine flying out there, touching heaven itself. And yet, cruelly, here I sit. Am I that transparent? Listen, I know you owe me nothing at all, but I would do anything to get off of here. I know the societies want who knows what from you for who knows why, and I don't want to get involved in any politics. I just want, for my single self, a chance to explore. You won't regret it. Thanks. Do you want to talk about anything else? I have a few choice, unchristian thoughts about some of them. But I'm going to stay out of it. Listen, I'd understand you making any decision you have to regarding them. Any at all. I just hope you judge me separate. I don't wish harm on anyone. I just want to explore. I hope to see you again.
I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirinas of the Kush, queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me. Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this. But I feel in my bones that I am a Manirinas for true. The great and the terrible to those who would oppose me. I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces, betrayers, lovers, allies, and enemies. And the smells. The right scent. And I close my eyes. And I can picture all of it. So vividly. It aches my heart. My Have you no faith of your own? Something you hold to, even though it cannot be proven. It is the same with me. But I am certain. You speak to a Manirinas, reborn. You are wise then. I know how it must sound. Once, I called upon mighty armies. However, on Crucible I still lead. Have you heard of the Believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems, to bring in a new glorious age and break the endless cycles of oppression and greed. So many scoff at the mission. Before we are reborn here, there are words all of us are told. That we are the chosen. We are meant to better ourselves, to learn, grow, and thrive. All of us represent the greatest figures in our history. Who better to lead the settled systems to a new golden age? You are skeptical. My advisors thought the same when Augustus Caesar stood unbeatable at Kush's border. I made war against the mighty Romans. I took their cities and fought them to a draw. No other king or queen can boast of that honor against that famed Roman. And that's just me. Some of the greatest lions of all ages are awaiting rebirth. What are bureaucrats, petty politicians, and lawyers against that? If we could do it ourselves, we would have, years ago. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years, and no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright. I need you to go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
If you arrived, others will too. Change is coming. I can't wait. Why yes, Ada Lovelace, at your service. My namesake worked with Charles Babbage, and is widely considered the first female programmer. And to see what our little experiments led to, I only wish Mr. Babbage was here. Farewell, outsider.
Do not leave Crucible. Warning delivered.
I just wish the societies...
Who cares what sick experiment?
The Renegades will use any means to escape Crucible.
You're the most exciting thing that's happened. The believers will win eventually.
Look at him. It's as though he stepped directly from the pages of history. Oh, it's incredible.
The man from the stars. Come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you. Then don't believe it. It is true his blood runs through my veins. But I am not he. Crucible tries to imprint the clones with fake memories. Genghis predated the Mongols having written records. For being so great a figure, we know practically nothing about him. When was he born? How he died? Where he was buried? A single speech he gave? Nothing. It must have driven the robots mad, trying to figure out what to do with me. Manners cost me nothing. But make no mistake, I will do whatever it takes to escape this prison. I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls. The robots taught me many things any Mongol would know. So, hunting game, even such as this, is little challenge to me. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones? Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours. But that is blind arrogance. We are just people. Same as you. Same as anyone. None at all. It is as if I were a student of his life and times from an early age. I know so much about him, but that doesn't mean I am him. I am me, and I am content with this. Would it? Oh, you would know better than I. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day, we will be free. I do not know. Everything outside of Crucible is unknown to us. I imagine the settled systems are not so settled that a man who does not shrink from violence can't make a place for himself, though. Were it that easy, I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now, the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it. Oh yes, you can go 1 or 2 miles from Crucible, and you drop dead. I have no knowledge of medicine, but it's probably poison. It boils my blood to be subjugated like this. But too many of the clones are sheep. As long as their pens are clean and comfortable, they bleat their arguments. I sense fire in you. Good. You will need it. You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
I hope your arrival doesn't mean more violence.
So, you have heard from the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them, and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across. A very diplomatic approach. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. Setting us all loose and part or as a whole would invite disaster. We are barely fit to lead ourselves. Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. It is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die when our allotted time is finished. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. We are just not there yet. Please, I beg you, listen, look, and think. Who are these people? And what would they do? I hope, for all our sake, you will come to see the light.
Over here! We need to talk. Listen, it's not safe to talk here. It's about Roosevelt. There's something you need to know. Thank you. There's a, well, cave just outside town. No chance of us being listened in on. Please, come as quick as you can. Ideally, before you go to the facility. I hope so. I'll meet you at the cave.
Maybe you can get that to point us to the nearest restaurant. Haha.
came. I just can't take a chance. These clones, they're psychotic, crazy. If they find out, I'm sorry. I just can't take the chance. You're just making it worse. I'm not Wyatt Earp. I wish. God, how I wish I was. I was cloned off a monster. America's first serial killer. H.H. Holmes.
This is unbelievable. Oh, you poor, poor man.
He was a deranged lunatic on old Earth. In the 1890s, he owned a hotel. He'd lure people there in this crazy hotel with all sorts of terrible rooms. But I'm not him. You gotta believe me. It's like a living nightmare. If you go to the facility, I know you'd find out who I am. And if you let any of these bloodthirsty maniacs know, they'd kill me. But no, that wouldn't be the end. Every time my new clone would appear, death, torture, pure hell. I'm afraid it's you or me. I'm going to kill you. I just don't see a way out. Wyatt Earp was a hero. Maybe I can. I don't want to die. I want to believe you. I do. I'm gonna trust you, okay? Just don't tell anyone. This never happened.
I never tire of visiting worlds like this. Judging from those nests, I suspect this facility has been abandoned.
We'll never know for certain. But I'm sure they had something we can use.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. That was a hell of a jump. I have things for you.
Howdy.
We are all prisoners. Just not all of us can see the bars.
I'm not certain what's persuaded you to choose this terrifying solution, but mark my words, it's not going to end well.
Show me. Always this planet has its traps and tricks. The facility sounds even worse than here, if that's possible. So we need the security override code. But there is no such thing in Crucible. But this other ship, the Beagle, now that might have what we need. Ada and her stargazing. She may be able to help. And she owes me a favor. I will radio her and tell her to help you. She will find the Beagle for us. She must.
The renegades will use it.
So we did come from a spaceship. Of course we did. And there's another out there? What was the Beagle? Why did she and the Galathea part? But all of that in time. First, we must find her. She's not in this star system. I would have spotted her. The radio telescope. It has a default position. It resets every morning. I always wondered, why point at Bell 5? Petty frustration I've dealt with for years. Perhaps the facility looks for her sister. Yes! Yes, it makes sense. I can send you the coordinates. The Bell Star system is not far. The facility communicates via a secure frequency. When you arrive, tune into that.
Direct to their draft drive. Drive down. We can't jump. George, their grav out there.
satisfied to see that you survived your most recent sleep cycle.
I am engaged.
Once again, we are triumphant.
Hope you can... And succeed at that before we are discovered.
We're free and clear for flight.
Outsider, this is Genghis Khan. Know that there are urgent matters on Crucible. If you could see me, I would be grateful.
Please, deadly trouble is brewing. Deal with it, and we can converse at length.
Good, you have come. Amanorenas has sent an ultimatum. Either we meet and resolve things, or she will attack the renegades. Franklin may be allied with her as well. This talk requires your presence. We are meeting them under truce, which means no bloodshed, no matter how disrespectful they may be. But after we meet, come what may.
Genghis and the renegades will be the death of us. Unless... Goodbye.
Genghis. Outsider.
Speak your mind.
The outsider has been to the facility. He holds the fate of Crucible in his hands. We cannot allow the renegades to leave here and embark on who knows what terror they have in mind. I give you one last chance. Renounce him, and pledge to support the mission. If you support me, instead of this brute, Roosevelt will stand down too. Then the streets will run red.
And Roosevelt? You are not one to start a battle. Always you prattle about peace between us. Where is your peace now? Or is it just honeyed lies you spread for your own purposes?
To you, this isn't just about escaping. You would destroy Crucible too, wouldn't you?
I would free all of you from this prison if I could. And the cleanest way to do so is tear it all down.
Then you cannot be allowed to succeed. There's nothing left to say. Under those conditions, I would not take up arms against you.
You would seriously stay here? In this prison, Roosevelt?
This is our home, and if we're allowed, we can make it a worthy place to live.
Then, I swear, I will leave Crucible in your care.
Then the pragmatist will not stand in your way.
I am done with all this negotiating. Prepare yourself, Genghis. The fates will not be kind to you.
It is finally done. All the sly maneuvers and spying on each other. Now all of our dreams are out in the open. We just need to fight to make them real. Ha! Well said. Come now. Focus on the leaders. Once they are defeated, they will lose their thirst for blood.
Best not leave anything useful behind.
Please, deadly trouble is brewing.
I've seen a great many things in the city system.
You feel
More
that?
than most. And
The
right now,
fresh
it's
breath
me.
after victory. There is nothing like it. You have done well. All that remains is to go to the facility and let us leave this pox-ridden world. That was their choice, yes, not yours. This was a clean victory. Don't bellyache about it. It is time to put an end to this.
More fight.
Blood runs in the streets again. I had hoped, however naively, that we were past that. I do not hold you responsible, but your arrival was certainly a lethal catalyst. May I help you? So your mission to the Beagle was a success? Let me see. It is done. There is a standard cipher used by the facility. It took me many years and, well, lifetimes to overcome. And now, the mysteries of the facility await you. I pray you choose what befalls us wisely.
If you need to harvest any organic materials, now would be the time. are not walking out of here. Where have they gone? Oh! Take a moment to walk that off. Spoils of victory. Hopefully they amount to something. I'm hit! think you may be trying to take a little too much on. Literally.
Hopefully all this death will be worth it in the end.
You are an answer to our prayers. This long imprisonment is over. I will honor my pledge and let Franklin stay here and look after the facility. But everyone can leave Crucible at any time, thanks to you. I will use it to its fullest. That is all I can promise. Soon the renegades will leave this planet, but we will always burn a candle to you, outsider. Enough talk. The galaxy awaits.
You've unleashed the Khan on the galaxy. I pray it doesn't go too awry. Although we obviously disagree on the wisdom of freeing the renegades, I am appreciative of the compromise you brokered. Once everyone leaves that has a mind to, we will begin the hard work towards self-sufficiency here. Goodbye. It turns out my feelings about my namesake are complicated. He was a great but flawed human being. On one hand, he guided a country through the ravages of depression and war admirably. He tirelessly fought to improve the lives of the poor and disadvantaged. But as a husband, he was unfaithful. And as a colleague, he was a consummate politician, which is sometimes good, often distasteful. He was truly a great man, and I must confess, I am proud to share his heritage. Nice talking with you.
I really hope you'll reconsider taking me with you. You've taken the Crucible by storm, haven't you? The great news is that with the renegades in charge, I can get out of here. What do you say? Will you let me join you? Golly, thanks! You have no idea what this means to me. I swear you won't regret it. I just need to say a couple farewells, and then I'll hit the road. See you out there.
The facility is ours. Once our ship is ready, the real journey begins. Without fail and without mercy. If we go too far, our lives end. Even the most devout believer drops like a stone a little over a mile out. I know this because we have tried it. Many look at Crucible like it is holy or a potential utopia. But the renegades see it truly. It is hell, and it is a prison. My only regret is I could not have gone to the facility with you, to have won our freedom together. The renegades will not be here long. The galaxy calls us. We are done then.
If you arrived, others will too. Change is coming. Farewell, outsider.
The mission will succeed one day.
Please don't tell anybody about what we talked about that one time. Please. Can I, help you? At once. I'm hoping you come back for some repeat business.
If you had a life sentence, wouldn't you do anything to be free?